And starting at the top of the mat, I'm going to take that foam roller and start rolling on the underside of your right quadricep, full range of motion, rolling down to the glutes and up to the bottom of the knee. And full range of motion, and keep rolling. Good to get out that tightness and scar tissue and aches and pains that sort of accumulate from regular exercise. And opposite leg, underside of your left quadricep. Rolling up to the glutes, stopping just below the waist and going down to right under the knee. And full range of motion. And keep rolling. This is great for rolling out that tightness from, especially if you like riding your bike or working out in the stationary bike in the gym, or if you do spin classes, then that muscle gets really tight. Okay, and now coming up to the glutes, gonna just roll along the glutes, full range of motion, up to the waist and just down below the glutes. Rolling out that area. I find this area gets pretty tight, especially when I'm doing lots of squats. It's a very gluteus involved exercise. And full range of motion. And good. And just coming back to the underside of your right quadricep, going to find an area that's tight and just roll along that specific area that's feeling really tight, like wherever there's a knot in your muscle. So it's just below my knee where I'm finding I'm really tight, so I'm just gonna work that spot out. Roll out that knot. And keep rolling, and good. And now we're gonna come to my right calf muscle, starting just below the knee, rolling along and stopping at the Achilles. And back up. And full range of motion. This movement takes a little more upper body strength, but that's all right. Good to help for your balance as well. And keep rolling, full range of motion, up to the Achilles, and back just under the knee, full range of motion. If this is too advanced for you, doing one leg at a time, you can always do both legs simultaneously. And now I just found an area that's tight. I'm going to roll that out, working out that knot in my calf. And opposite leg. Again, if this aches too much, you can always do both legs simultaneously. And rolling along that opposite leg, full range of motion. The challenge of this movement will also depend on if you're doing it on a softer surface as compared with a harder surface. Like if you were foam rolling on grass or carpet, then it wouldn't be as challenging. But really, the point is not to so much get a workout in, but to recover faster from your previous workouts with the foam rolling. And I just found an area that was really tight, and I was rolling that out. Good. And now coming to the side, my left quadricep, and rolling down to just above the knee, and stopping at the sciatic nerve, and full range of motion, and rolling just where the waist is, and coming down just above the knee, and full range of motion. This movement might look a little funny, but that's okay. We're not trying to get kudo points for this exercise, just trying to work out those muscles that were really tight, work out the knots and tightness and aches from the exercise. So I've just found a area that's really tight just above my knee, and I'm just kind of rolling that out. Anytime you find a knot or a specific point in the muscle where you're tight, you can just stop there and roll on that specific point and roll out that knot in your muscle. Okay, and now opposite leg, side of my quadricep, full range of motion, stopping just at the sciatic nerve and coming down to just above the knee and full range of motion, rolling down to just above the knee and coming up to where the sciatic nerve is, full range of motion, and keep rolling. And stopping just above the knee. And here I'm finding a tight spot right around the middle of my quadricep, just kind of rolling that out. Quadriceps can get particularly tight, especially if you do lots of running or biking or any leg dominant exercise. And now coming to the front of my quadriceps, I'm doing one leg at a time. If this hurts too much, then don't worry, you can do both legs simultaneously as well. So just stopping just above the knee and rolling up to the waist. And coming down just above the knee and down to the waist. You'll probably find this movement aches a lot when you're rolling out these muscles. Most people find the top of their quadriceps get pretty tight through most forms of exercise. And I'm just finding an area that's really tight. Just going to roll that out. And now switching to the opposite leg. Again, if this aches too much, you can just roll both legs simultaneously. Awesome movement as well. And coming up just to the waist and rolling down to just above the knee. And finding another tight spot. I'm gonna roll out that tightness. Get that tightness out of my quadricep and gonna feel a lot more loose and more flexible for it. And good. And now shifting to a new position. Gonna get the inside of my quadriceps starting just above the knee and coming just into the top of the inner leg, just above the knee, and stopping when there's no more leg left to roll. Above the knee, and full range of motion. Keep rolling out that muscle. Just above the knee, and good. This area can get particularly tight if you do lots of kettlebell workouts, especially kettlebell swings. That causes that area to get tight. And now doing the opposite leg. Full range of motion. Stopping just above the knee and rolling up till there's no more leg left to roll. You may find this movement a little bit awkward at first, but that's okay. You can use your hands to support you and your opposite leg to kind of guide you as you move up and down the mat. And I'm just finding an area that's really tight just above my knee, so I'm gonna roll that out, rolling out that tightness, and good. And now we're gonna start foam rolling my back, starting at just the waist, the lower half of your back, stopping right where it's about halfway up. So just where the waist is and lower half of the back, stopping halfway up your back. And rolling that out. If you spend a lot of time sitting in a chair during the day, you may find this area gets particularly tight. So this is a great movement to work out that tightness in your lower back. And stopping just at the glutes. And now we're going to do the upper half of your back. So starting just where your traps are and coming down to the lower half of your back. This movement may take a little bit getting used to in terms of finding how you're going to move your back and forth. You can also use your hands to support yourself, just kind of moving them along the floor and guiding your back and forth. And stopping at the traps and rolling down to just the lower half of your back. And coming up, stopping at the traps, and coming down to the lower half of your back. And good. So now I'm going to roll out my pectoral muscles. So start with your right pectoral muscle and sort of roll that out, also known as your chest. Rolling out that tightness. Chest can get particularly achy or tight, especially if you do lots of push-ups. That's a very pectoral dominant exercise. And rolling out that right pectoral muscle. And opposite side. This movement can feel really good, especially because it's a very sort of roly-poly motion along the mat. And rolling this out. Just stopping at your armpit and then coming just above the rib cage, stopping just above the rib cage. And keep rolling that out. Feel a lot looser and more flexible for doing this motion. And good. And now we're going to do my tricep. Starting with your right tricep, just rolling that out, also known as the underside of your arm. Stopping at the elbow and rolling up to your armpit. Full range of motion. You can rest your head on your arm to sort of add more pressure to your tricep as you're rolling it out. And it'll probably feel more comfortable doing the movement that way as well. And rolling up to the elbow and down to the armpit. Rolling along that opposite tricep. Full range of motion. And rolling it along, up to the armpit, up to the elbow, stopping just at the elbow, and rolling it out. Awesome work. And now I'm going to do the obliques and the trapezius simultaneously. So basically foam rolling the side of your upper body, stopping at the waist, and rolling it up, and stopping at the armpit. And down to the waist, full range of motion, rolling that out, and stopping at the armpit, and stopping at the waist. Rolling it out, coming up to the armpit, and stopping at the waist. You can use your opposite leg to kind of guide you along the mat as you move in this movement. And now coming to the opposite side, roll that out, rolling along the obliques and up to the trapezius muscle, and stopping at the waist, and rolling along and stopping at the armpit. Coming down, And moving up, full range of motion. This area can get particularly tight, especially if you do any exercises with a Swiss ball. I find my obliques and trapezius muscles are very involved in those stability type exercises. All right, good. And now we're going to do your left sciatic nerve. That's the nerve that's just below your waist. And very small nerve, and just focusing in on that area. Runners particularly will get very tight along this area. So rolling that out. Good. Doing the opposite sciatic nerve. And rolling that out. And working that out, rolling out the tightness, knots. Almost there. And awesome job, guys. You are done. That is your full body foam rolling session. Be sure to check out theministryoflean.com for more great exercise content. Thank you so much.